The massive alien fleet hung silently in the darkness of space, their sleek metallic ship stretching across millions of kilometers. Kim Hyuk sat in the underground research facility, his fingers dancing across holographic screens that tracked the approaching invasion force. Outside, the world seemed unnervingly calm, as if unaware of the impending threat. Commander Park Yuna stood beside him, her military uniform crisp and her eyes fixed on the incoming data. "They have no idea what's waiting for them," she muttered, a slight smile playing on her lips. The alien vessels belonging to the Kral Confederation looked like perfect killing machines. Hundreds of ships, each the size of small cities, moved with calculated precision. Their technology was centuries ahead of human capabilities, or so they believed. Massive energy cannons decorated their hulls, and quantum shields shimmered around their exteriors. Hyuk adjusted his glasses and pulled up detailed gravitational readings. Something extraordinary was about to happen, and only a handful of scientists understood the true nature of Earth's defense. In the command center, global military leaders watched the incoming fleet with a mixture of terror and anticipation. Satellite feeds showed the massive ships entering Earth's outer atmosphere, their commanders believing this would be a swift conquest. The first wave of alien ships began their descent. Massive engines burned bright, cutting through clouds and atmospheric layers. Inside these ships, alien commanders were already planning their victory celebrations, discussing how quickly they would subjugate human civilization. But they didn't understand Earth's unique gravitational characteristics. As the first ships entered the lower atmosphere, something strange began to happen. Subtle at first, then increasingly dramatic. The ships started to wobble, their advanced stabilization systems flickering and failing. Quantum shields began to ripple and distort, experiencing pressures they were never designed to handle. Hyuk watched the monitors, his calculations proving correct. Earth's specific gravitational field was becoming a weapon more powerful than any human-made technology. The planet itself was preparing to defend its inhabitants. Alien communication channels began to fill with confused and panicked transmissions. Their ships were experiencing unprecedented structural stress. Hulls that could normally withstand direct asteroid impacts were now creaking and bending under invisible forces. "Gravitational anomaly detected," a computer voice announced in the research facility. "Structural integrity of alien vessels compromised." Park Yuna turned to Hyuk, her eyes gleaming with a mixture of scientific excitement and military precision. "Your calculations were perfect," she said. The alien invasion force, which moments ago seemed invincible, now looked like a collection of fragile metal birds caught in an impossible storm. Ships began to twist and buckle, their advanced technologies rendered useless against Earth's fundamental physical properties. In major cities around the world, people looked up to see something extraordinary. Massive alien ships were falling from the sky, not from human weapons but from the planet's own defensive mechanism. It was as if Earth itself had decided to reject the invaders. Hyuk knew this was just the beginning. The first wave was merely a test, and the real battle was yet to come. But humanity had an ally more powerful than any weapon, the very planet they called home. As the first alien ship started to break apart, falling like wounded metallic creatures, a new chapter in human history was about to be written. The invasion that was supposed to end humanity had just encountered its first and perhaps most unexpected obstacle: gravity. Simple, fundamental, unforgiving gravity. The research facility buzzed with energy. Scientists like Hyuk had spent years studying Earth's unique gravitational characteristics, understanding something the aliens had completely overlooked. This was not just a defense mechanism, this was a planetary immune response. Outside, the sky continued to fill with falling alien vessels, their once perfect technology now nothing more than burning debris. Earth had spoken, and its language was physics. The unexpected invasion had begun, but not in the way anyone, human or alien, had anticipated. The alien communication channels erupted with confusion and panic. What had started as a confident invasion was quickly turning into an inexplicable nightmare. Inside the lead ship, Commander Raltok watched in disbelief as his vessel's advanced navigation systems began to malfunction. "Gravitational readings are impossible," His chief science officer reported, sweat beading on his gray-green skin. The ship trembled, not from external attack but from some internal structural stress that defied all known physical laws. Back on Earth, Kim Hyuk continued monitoring the developing situation. His computer screens filled with real-time data showing how the planet's gravitational field was subtly manipulating the alien technology. It wasn't a direct attack. It was something far more sophisticated, a natural defense mechanism that the invaders could never have anticipated. Park Yuna stood beside him, her military background mixing with scientific curiosity. "They don't understand what's happening," she observed, watching the alien ship struggle. The first signs of trouble had been subtle, minor fluctuations in the ship's external shields, slight variations in their flight paths. But now, those minor anomalies were becoming catastrophic. Failures. Alien vessels began to experience unprecedented stress, their quantum technologies collapsing under forces they couldn't comprehend. Inside the alien ships, crew members scrambled, emergency protocols activated, warning sirens blared. But nothing could prepare them for what was happening. Earth's gravity was doing something impossible. It was actively resisting their invasion. Each ship's computer began to report similar impossible readings. Gravitational pull increasing exponentially, structural integrity compromised, navigation systems failing. It was as if the planet itself was a living, breathing entity that had decided to reject the invaders. Commander Raltok tried to maintain composure. "Adjust shield frequencies," he commanded. "Redistribute energy to stabilization systems." But his orders came too late. The ships were already experiencing critical failures. Hyuk watched the data with a mix of scientific excitement and professional detachment. Years of research had prepared him for this moment. Humanity's greatest defense wasn't in weapons but in understanding the fundamental physics of their home planet. The alien fleet, which had looked invincible just hours earlier, now appeared, fragile and vulnerable. Ships began to drift, their advanced propulsion systems struggling against forces they couldn't understand. Some vessels started to twist and bend, their once perfect metallic exteriors now showing signs of impossible stress. "It's like the planet is breathing," Park Yuna muttered, watching the monitors. Pushing them out, rejecting them. Global communication networks began to light up. Military installations worldwide tracked the extraordinary event. This wasn't a traditional battle. This was something entirely different. A planetary immune response that no technological civilization had ever encountered. Alien ships continued to fall, not destroyed by weapons but by the simple, fundamental physics of Earth. Gravity became a weapon more powerful than any human-made technology. Each vessel experienced unique gravitational pressures, twisting and warping in ways that defied logical explanation. Commander Raltok finally understood the terrible truth. This invasion was over before it had truly begun. Earth wasn't just defending itself. It was actively pushing back against the invasion, using forces far more ancient and powerful than any technological shield or weapon. In the research facility, Hyuk allowed himself a small smile. Months of complex calculations, years of understanding Earth's unique gravitational characteristics. Everything was proving correct. Humanity's defense wasn't about fighting. It was about understanding. The sky filled with falling alien vessels. Some broke apart completely. Others twisted into impossible shapes, each one a testament to the planet's incredible, unexpected defense mechanism. As the first wave of the invasion collapsed, a new message became clear. Earth was not just a planet to be conquered, it was a living system that could defend itself. In ways no technological civilization could ever comprehend, the gravitational anomalies continued, and humanity watched, both terrified and amazed as their home planet fought back. The world watched in stunned silence as Earth's gravitational defense continued to unleash its power. Kim Hyuk and Park Yuna worked frantically in the research facility, transforming scientific understanding into a weapon more powerful than any missile or laser. "We can amplify the gravitational response," Hyuk explained, his fingers dancing across complex holographic interfaces. Yuna nodded, understanding the potential of their discovery. Earth wasn't just defending itself, it was learning to fight. Backed by global military networks activated unprecedented protocols. Scientists who had spent decades studying planetary physics were now frontline strategists. The alien invasion had become something entirely unexpected, a battle against the planet itself. Commander Raltok watched in horror as more ships began to fail. What had seemed like a simple conquest was turning into a catastrophic defeat. His communication systems crackled with panic from other ship commanders. Their technology, centuries ahead of human capabilities, was useless against Earth's fundamental forces. The gravitational manipulation began to take more deliberate forms. Ships didn't just fall, they were actively crushed. Quantum shields collapsed, like paper. Advanced propulsion systems became nothing more than twisted metal. Each vessel experienced a unique form of planetary rejection. In major research centers around the world, teams worked alongside Hayek's group. They weren't just defending, they were learning how to weaponize Earth's natural gravitational properties. Computers calculated complex patterns, finding ways to focus and direct the planet's defensive capabilities. It's like the planet has an immune system, one scientist remarked watching the data streams. And she was right. Earth was responding to the invasion like a living organism, pushing out what it perceived as an infection. Alien ships began to experience impossible physical transformations. Hulls twisted, internal structures collapsed. Advanced technologies became nothing more than scrap metal. The invaders had no defense against a force they couldn't understand or predict. Park Yuna coordinated global response teams. Military installations around the world tracked the extraordinary event. This wasn't a traditional battle. This was something entirely new. A planetary defense that used physics as its primary weapon. Yuck discovered something even more remarkable. Earth's gravitational response was becoming more sophisticated with each passing moment. It was learning, adapting. The planet was developing a more intelligent defense against the invasion. Communication channels between alien ships became increasingly desperate. Commanders argued. Tactical systems failed. The invasion that was supposed to be a simple conquest was turning into a complete disaster. Gravitational pressure increasing, a computer voice announced in the research facility. The numbers were beyond anything science had previously understood. Earth was fighting back with forces more powerful than any technological weapon. Some alien ships managed to partially resist the gravitational assault, but these were exceptions. Most vessels were now falling, twisted into impossible shapes. Their advanced technologies rendered completely useless. Commander Raltok made a desperate decision. Retreat, he ordered. But even retreat was becoming impossible. The gravitational field was actively preventing the alien fleet from escaping. The sky filled with falling ships. Each one told a story of technological superiority defeated by something far more fundamental. Humanity watched, a mixture of terror and excitement filling the global communication networks. Hyuk realized they were witnessing something unprecedented. This wasn't just a defense. This was a demonstration of planetary power that would change everything humanity understood about physics, defense, and their place in the universe. As the battle continued, one thing became clear. The alien invasion was over. Not through human weapons, not through military strategy, but through the simple, fundamental forces of the planet itself. Earth had spoken, and its language was gravity. The world transformed into a battlefield unlike any in human history. Earth itself had become the ultimate weapon, and Kim Hyuk stood at the center of this extraordinary defense. Alien ships continued to fall, but now the response was more calculated. Gravitational waves pulsed across the planet's surface, creating invisible barriers that crushed alien technology like paper. Park Yuna watched the global defense network, her eyes reflecting the complex patterns of planetary resistance. In orbit, the remaining alien fleet tried desperately to regroup. Commander Raltok realized too late that this was no ordinary planetary resistance. Earth was alive, a sentient defense system that understood how to fight back. Massive gravitational pulses began to emerge from specific points on the planet. Research facilities around the world had learned to focus and direct Earth's natural defensive capabilities. It wasn't just about pushing back anymore. It was about systematically destroying the invasion force. "We're channeling the planet's natural field," Hyuk explained to the global military leaders. His computer screens showed complex mathematical models that looked more like living organisms than traditional defense strategies. Each gravitational pulse was carefully calculated, precisely targeted. The alien ships experienced total system failures. Quantum shields collapsed. Advanced propulsion systems became nothing more than twisted metal. Some vessels simply imploded, crushed by forces they couldn't comprehend. Global communication networks buzzed with excitement and terror. Humanity watched as their planet became a living weapon. Military installations tracked the extraordinary transformation, recording every moment of the unprecedented defense. Commander Raltok's flagship began to break apart. The ship's advanced technologies were useless against the focused gravitational assault. Warning systems blared. Crew members scrambled. But there was no escape. Park Yuna coordinated the global response, her military background mixing with the scientific breakthrough. "We're not just defending," she told Hyuk. "We're teaching them a lesson about underestimating Earth." The gravitational defense became more sophisticated with each passing moment. It was as if the planet was learning, adapting, understanding how to fight. Alien communication channels filled with panic and confusion. Their invasion had become a total disaster. Research centers around the world worked in perfect sync. Teams of scientists transformed complex mathematical models into active defense mechanisms. They weren't just protecting the planet. They were weaponizing its most fundamental properties. Some alien ships attempted to break through the gravitational barriers. Each attempt failed more spectacularly than the last. The planet's defense was becoming increasingly intelligent, increasingly precise. Hyuk discovered something extraordinary. The gravitational response wasn't just a random defense. It was a calculated, intelligent system that could predict and counter alien technological capabilities. Earth was thinking in its own fundamental way. The sky filled with falling alien vessels. Each one told a story of technological superiority crushed by something far more powerful. Humanity watched in a mixture of terror and excitement, understanding that everything was changing. "We're witnessing the most important moment in human history," one global leader remarked. And he was right. This was more than a defense. This was a demonstration of planetary power that would reshape humanity's understanding of its place in the universe. Commander Raltok made one final desperate communication, but his words were lost in the crushing gravitational waves. The invasion was over. Not through human weapons, not through traditional military strategy, but through the planet's fundamental physical properties. Park Yuna looked at Hyuk, a smile spreading across her face. "We did it," she said simply. But they both knew this was just the beginning. The planetary defense continued. Earth was fighting back, and it was winning. As the last alien ships began to fall, one thing became clear. Humanity was no longer just a species living on a planet. They were part of a living, breathing defensive system more powerful than any technological civilization could imagine. The message was clear. Earth was not to be conquered. Earth was alive. And it was fighting back. The aftermath of the invasion was unlike anything in galactic history. Remnants of the alien fleet drifted like broken toys across Earth's orbital space, a testament to humanity's unexpected power. Commander Raltok survived, barely. His damaged ship, a twisted piece of metal, represented the final proof of the Krull Confederation's total defeat. Communication networks across alien civilizations began to buzz with an unbelievable story. Earth had destroyed an entire invasion force without firing a single conventional weapon. Kim Hyuk sat in the Global Research Center, reviewing the final gravitational data. What had started as a scientific curiosity had become humanity's most extraordinary defense mechanism. Park Yuna stood beside him, her military uniform a stark reminder of the incredible victory. "They never saw it coming," she said quietly. Alien communication intercepts revealed total shock. The Kral Confederation's most advanced fleet, designed to conquer multiple planetary systems, had been completely destroyed by a single planet's gravitational properties. It was more than a defeat. It was a cosmic humiliation. Research teams around the world began analyzing the collected data. Each gravitational pulse, each moment of planetary defense was documented. Scientists realized they had discovered something beyond traditional understanding, a living planetary defense system that could think, adapt, and protect itself. Global media channels broadcast the incredible story. Humanity had not just survived an invasion. They had demonstrated a power that no technological civilization had ever witnessed. Earth wasn't just a planet. It was a living, breathing, defensive entity. The remaining alien ships that managed to escape carried stories of terror. Detailed reports described impossible gravitational forces, planetary responses that defied all known physical laws. The Kral Confederation's reputation was destroyed. "We've changed everything," Hayuk told Yuna. "No civilization will look at Earth the same way again." Alien diplomatic channels began to spread warnings. Earth was not to be approached. The planet had demonstrated a defensive capability that made traditional weapons look like children's toys. Humanity had become something more than just another species in the galaxy. Commander Raltok's final report was a mixture of terror and scientific fascination. He described gravitational waves that could crush quantum shields, planetary responses that anticipated and destroyed technological systems before they could even activate. Research centers globally began to understand the true significance of their discovery. Earth's gravitational field was not just a physical property. It was an intelligent, adaptive system that could protect its inhabitants in ways no one had ever imagined. The cosmic humiliation spread across alien communication networks. What was supposed to be a simple conquest had become the most spectacular defeat in galactic history. Humanity had not just defended itself, it had demonstrated a power that made other civilizations reconsider their understanding of planetary defense. Park Yuna looked at the global communication maps. Alien civilizations were now marking Earth as a "do not approach" zone. The invasion had transformed humanity's position in the universe. "We're no longer just another species," she said. "We're a planetary defense system." Kim Hayuk nodded. The scientific breakthrough was beyond anything they had imagined. Earth had shown that technological superiority meant nothing against fundamental planetary forces. The last alien ships limped away, carrying stories of total defeat, their advanced technologies, their quantum weapons, their generations of military strategy, all destroyed by a planet's natural gravitational properties. Global celebrations erupted. Humanity had not just survived an invasion, they had rewritten the rules of cosmic warfare. No longer would Earth be seen as a vulnerable target. It was now a powerful, intelligent defensive system. Commander Raltok's final transmission said, "It all. Earth is not a planet to be conquered. Earth is a living weapon." The cosmic humiliation was complete. Humanity had emerged not just as survivors, but as something entirely new in the universe. A planetary defense system that could think, that could fight, that could win. The invasion was over. Earth had spoken, and the galaxy would never be the same again.